So thanks for making time today to come and talk. I wanted to share with you some of the research that we've been doing here at the Center for Health Equity Research and Promotion at VA Pittsburgh about transgender veterans and issues about housing instability and services that people who experience housing instability might use in VA. And just to get some of your thoughts and reactions about that research. Sort of the first finding that we observed was that the prevalence or the frequency of housing instability was much higher for transgender veterans than non-transgender veterans. So in our sample, about 7% of non-transgender veterans had experienced housing instability, and we defined that as they had answered yes to a question about if they were currently housing unstable or if they had been using a service for housing services, supportive housing services. And for non-transgender veterans, it was about 7% had said yes, and for transgender veterans, it was almost 20%. So I just want to ask how, what you think about that, if that's surprising at all.
Well, in actuality, I know I had a really hard time with trying to find the jobs, with everything else going on. There's a lot of issues with the legalities of name change versus experience versus what you put on the resume, what you put on the application. So there's a lot that has to be done, I think, in that category. Because if you put your old name, then you're revealing yourself. If you put can't contact, then they look at you. And then if you put one, they give your other name, it's still a violation. So there's got to be some way to fix that, because that was my issue. I couldn't find a job. And I think that could be a lot of the issues for that, because of the issues that we have trying to figure out how to do that, fix that situation in general.
When you were experiencing that, was there what sort of help were you able to find in sort of navigating that?
Well, I did contact the VA because I just gotten into it, and I did get a lot of phone calls from many different people who gave me some directions. And I tried to do it on my own, but when I finally gave up and asked for help is when I got it, and it definitely started making things a lot better for me.
That's great. So the prevalence of housing instability was one finding from our studies. The second thing was looking at how often people use the services that are available to them in VA, because in VA we have a lot of different services that are tailored to helping people navigate housing instability and end housing instability. And we found across multiple different services that people can use that transgender veterans were more likely to be receiving one or more services from VA than their non-transgender peers in VA. So it sounds like, it seems from our preliminary research that services are reaching people, and I'm hearing from your experience that you did have some success in accessing different services around that. Is that?
I did, yes. I mean, it took a long time to get it. It's not like the VA goes, here, come here, we'll take care of all this, and this. You have to do a lot of research. You have to talk to a lot of people. It's a lot of networking. I'm sure in time it's going to get better, because, I've been advocating, and a lot of other people have been advocating, trying to get our voice out there, and a lot of people here have been really instrumental in helping us do a lot of things. And I honestly say it's a good thing that I finally did open up and accept the help, and I think that the tradition and the pattern that's happening is going to get a lot better from the trends that I've been seeing.
I'm glad that you mentioned your voice and sort of you talking with other folks to have your voices heard, because as a researcher I would love to hear about your ideas about what researchers in VA can do, what sort of topics or areas that we can work in that would help to meet the experience and the lives of trans veterans across VA.
That's a hard one. Honestly, it's a lot of it's going to be just opening up, listening, understanding, a lot of sensitivity trainings, a lot of when we say things or complain about things, more seriousness taken, because a lot of times I felt like it wasn't I wasn't prevalent to other people. Like they were like, oh well, you're just complaining or whatever, because you're different. Or so I mean, there's a lot of that happening. But again, it's been getting better as I've been seeing the progression. I just really think that those that are on the specific team for the LGBT community are doing a good job, but we need them to get more information out there, get more people either on the team or totally within the scope of helping, and just really listening, because we will ask all the questions we need. We just don't know what the questions to ask until it happens.
Is there anything that you can think of that, from your experiences in VA, that if you could, change tomorrow, or thinking back in your experience, that if you could maybe think of one or two things that, if I had known this, or if I had had this, this would have made it easier for me?
Obviously the information to get into the VA and who to get ahead of would be a lot better. A lot of it's going to be pamphlets and stuff like that, word of mouth, because there isn't any real invitation to say, hey, come visit us. The services aren't really there. I went through, the entire homeless project, and there are people I never talked to that I found out I could have helped me. It's just because there was some communication issues, and it's still new, and it's still going to take time, and I just wish that we could, flash forward like 5 years and bring it back now when everything's happened. But we got to start somewhere, and I'm glad to see the changes are happening day by day. So.
Well, thank you for talking. Is there anything else that you would like to add that I maybe didn't ask, or any other thoughts?
No, I'm just happy to see everything moving forward.
Yeah.